Michi and it's Friday.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Michi, and I'm back with another video. So I'm super excited for today's video. It's a book review. This is one of the most important books that I have read in my holistic health journey. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. Before I get into this book review, go ahead. Before we get into things, look just below this video where it says subscribe. You see it where it says subscribe. Click that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell next to it, just so you're notified as soon as I drop new videos every Friday. And as you know, if this is your first time here, this is a channel of growth. I am sharing my personal journey of growth, and hopefully you get inspired by seeing me grow. So go ahead and make that official. Like the video, thumbs up, share it on your platforms even. With that being said, let's get into today's video. Let me introduce to you guys water. Can you see it? Water. The body's many cries. Your body's many cries for water. You're not sick. You're thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. By Dr. F. I'm apologize in advance because y'all know I'm horrible with names. Batmanghelidj. See it? Right there. Yep, that's his name. So just a little bit about how I even stumbled upon this book. And one of my random friends, I don't even remember which friend, but I remember somebody on my timeline shared that they were reading this book. At the time, I was going through some stuff where I didn't feel my best and I was trying to figure some stuff out. It just caught my attention because I'm like, you know, that's something that I kind of intuitively knew, that like sometimes you just need water, but I didn't know like the extent. I don't know, something about the book just made me think like, okay, you need to get this, you need to read this. So I went on my quest to try and find this book. I couldn't find it anywhere. I found it on Amazon. However, I only found a used version that was somewhere in a thrift store in Chicago, but they put it on Amazon and I got it. So this is a used book technically. That's another reason how I was like, okay, this got to be a good book, because if it's hard to find, I'm there. I'm where the rare things are. Okay, first of all, I learned so much from reading this book. If you've ever had a conversation with me about health, I've ever asked you, well, are you drinking water, or are they drinking water, or you know, I always bring water up. It's because of this book. When I tell y'all, he is a doctor himself. Or was a doctor himself. He was able to suggest drinking large amounts of water for certain patients that were going through different things, and they ultimately, if not reversed certain things that they were going through, it made their condition better just by drinking water. I thought like, wow, that's interesting. If you follow my holistic health journey, you know that one of the things I talk about is how growing up I always had headaches and a bunch of other different ailments, and drinking water, from reading this book, I don't know, I've never been so thirsty in my life as I was reading every page of this book. Like I literally would read a page and be like, let me drink water. Let me read another page and let me drink water. And when I tell y'all, the more water I drink, the less headaches I genuinely have. And it has a section in here that talks about headaches and, you know, how dehydration plays a part in headaches. And I'm a firm believer that that's what happened to me growing up. As a kid, I did not drink water at all. My mom bought cases of Dasani, but I would like sip out of them and just leave them around. I would never complete even a bottle of water, okay? So as an adult now that I'm more aware of my health, I implement water so crazy every day. Like I have to have water every single day. And it's probably why you might notice my skin is clearing up and this weight is coming off and everything. Like this book has really just worked wonders for me. Short and sweet. So let me get into 5 things that I learned from reading this book. The first thing, just off the top of my head, I didn't really take notes on. I mean, I took notes in the book. Like, there's a lot of things that are highlighted, but just off the top of my head, something I learned that stuck with me, that I'll carry with me once I become a mother and become pregnant, is that about morning sickness. So according to this author and doctor, morning sickness in mothers is an indicator of water need between the fetus and the mother. So you're probably dehydrated. Well, I won't say dehydrated, but it's your body's way of telling you either you, mom, or or your baby needs some water. And I really want to test that theory. So if you're watching this and you are a mom, you've had a baby, comment below and let me know, like, if you had morning sickness, looking back at it, did you drink a lot of water? Did you not drink a lot of water and you had morning sickness? Like, tap in, let me know, because I'm actually interested and asking mothers about that. Thing number 2 that I remember and that sticks out to me is that he said a lot of diseases, the cause of them is the lack of water to cells. So a lot of us are walking around with dehydrated cells. In order for your cells to function properly and to have a healthy body, each cell has to be hydrated to properly function. When you think about illnesses and things that are taking place in your body, a lot of them come from lack of water. Like your cells, think about it. Think about a car. If a car doesn't have proper gas or proper fuel, it's not really gonna run the best way it can. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, and that makes a lot of sense. You know, I can say as somebody who drinks more water now, I run a little better as a human. You know, literally, like me and my husband go walking and I'm actually able to run a mile, run 2 miles. I feel more fueled, and so that sticks with me. Every time somebody's like, I got this ailment, that ailment, drink you some water, because themselves is probably crying out for it. I also learned that salt, not in excessive amounts, is an essential part that is needed for survival in your body. Salt is needed for all living creatures, honestly. And salt is a very intricate need in terms of elements like asthma, in terms of like autoimmune disease and allergies. And then these are kind of like a 2-in-1 that feeds off of each other. I learned that for people that have asthma, according to this doctor, just by putting a pinch of salt on your tongue and following it up with water, that salt opens the airways to like your arteries and, you know, things, so it helps open up your breathing a little bit better. It helps the arteries to expand, basically. So I was like, that's very interesting. And then the part to piggyback off of that is that in order of importance, oxygen, water, salt, and potassium rank as primary elements for survival of the human body, according to this author. I know that we need potassium. I learned that with my mom fighting breast cancer, they were always making sure that she, you know, had her potassium levels up. But salt was something that I really didn't see the importance of. But it's, as this book so eloquently points out, that, you know, salt plays a major part in your vessels expanding and, you know, just opening up those vessels for blood to properly flow through your body and for everything else to properly flow through your body. So salt is not bad for you. An over amount or an excess of salt is bad for you. This book talked about maybe not all diseases, but quite a few diseases and different health issues. It talked about diseptic pain, colitis pain, false appendicitis, if I'm not mistaken. I always call this, because my dad actually has this, I always say hinal hernia, but it's hiatus hernia or something like that. Talks about that in this book and how drinking a lot of water helps that. Rheumatoid arthritis, lower back pain, neck pain, anginal pain, headaches, stress and depression, alcohol addiction, high blood pressure, hypertension, high cholesterol, obesity, overeating, and asthma. So it does have a chapter on each of those things and how water contributes to healing those ailments. So what I loved about this book is, one, that it was written by a doctor. It's one thing to hear holistic advice or healthier advice from just regular humans who have come across this information, but for it to have been from a doctor specifically, I think I'm so thankful that this gentleman wrote this book from that perspective and really had a passion to search for what is the cause of these actual diseases. I love that so much. I also love that he included actual testimonies from some of his clients and also just some people that may have come across his initial book and I think he might have done like interviews and things like that, talking about the importance of drinking water and patients that he's helped with different ailments with just suggesting them ingest more water. I love reading each of the testimonies per illness that he talked about. I love that. I also love that he had like diagraphs and charts just for whatever he was describing. If he was describing something about arteries, he had pictures and really mapped out like what it looked like. To not only would he talk about the process of how maybe water enters the cell and the layers, he would also write out, like draw out what that looks like so you can get a visual, because if you're like me, I gotta have a visual for certain things. I can't just read it. So I love that he did that as well. And lastly, I loved all of the information in the book. When I tell you I read this book, but I'm probably gonna go back and reread this book. It just was so much good information. Like, I'm only scratching the surface, y'all. I highly recommend y'all go and find this book for yourself. I think I might have gotten the I got the 3rd edition, but he has many additions to this book. Please read that. I'm gonna try to go back and read some more of his books, because I think he has another book about like obesity and water. I'm just in a space where I'm just trying to really look into natural holistic healing any way I can, because I want to help myself. You know, we're gonna have kids soon. I want to be able to grow healthy children, have a healthy household. I do not want to have to go through different health issues and ailments, or to see anybody that I love suffer at the hands of something that could be cured just by you having healthier habits. So I highly recommend you read this book for yourself. The more I come across books like this, I'm gonna share them with y'all. That's this book. That is Your Bodies Many Cries for Water. You're not sick, you're thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. Y'all, please check this book out if you can. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video and this book review. Comment below. Let me know if y'all like this review, if you're intrigued by the book, your thoughts, if you're going to check it out. Let me know. All right, y'all. I'm going to head on out. I love y'all. Enjoy y'all's Friday. See y'all next week. Bye.